All right, welcome you guys. Super excited this evening to share with you guys some information that was shared with Michelle and I about 6.5 years ago that honestly it changed our entire lives. And when I first got exposed to this information, it was a friend of ours who's a dietitian at the Heart Hospital here in Sioux Falls, and she brought it to Michelle and I because she knew that we were into living healthy, helping other people, things of that nature. And she shared with us this ABC Primetime Investigative Report. And when you listen to this report, I want you to keep kind of an open mind and think about, the possibilities of what if. What if the information that you're hearing truly is revolutionary technology that nobody else has their hands on? Who could benefit from this type of information, these types of products? And think to yourself, as we shift in society to more of this biohacking age where we can revolutionize the upregulation and downregulation of different genes, and we can activate it actually through nutrigenomics and not with drugs. How impactful could that be to have this information before the average person? So let's go ahead and start with this ABC Primetime video, and then I'll kind of fill you in where the company's gone since then and kind of where we're headed and a little bit more of my story. So let me share my screen so you can see this video, and then I will be right back on.
You want to get an edge on turning back the clock with just a few pills? Who doesn't? Well, it's no longer science fiction, but science possibility, a potential breakthrough. As I found out firsthand, there may be a way to erase years, at least inside my body. Granted, it's down the road, but some scientists are wondering if a new pill I took might offer a very long life. It may not look like the fountain of youth, but inside this nondescript building, I'm about to become part of an exciting experiment, a kind of guinea pig.
Dr. McCord, okay.
I'm here at the University of Colorado in Denver to meet Dr. Joe McCord, a world-renowned scientist.
This is pretty exciting stuff you're finding, huh?
It is. We're very excited about it.
His latest research could very well unravel the mystery of aging itself. And his decades of experiments may have the potential of adding years to people's lives and possibly prevent chronic diseases like cancer, diabetes, and heart disease. It all centers around this small yellow pill, and for me, it begins with a blood test. They want to check my levels of something called T-bars, which is a rough indicator of a person's actual age. T-bars can identify a condition known as oxidative stress, a kind of measure of the wear and tear on our bodies. Oxidative stress, like the rusting of an engine, is not a good thing.
Bad for the body.
Leading to disease.
Leading to disease and leading to malfunction, and importantly, leading to what we call aging. It is a slow progression of increasing oxidative stress. That's the main characteristic biochemically of the aging process.
For a long time, scientists thought that antioxidant vitamins like C and E would lower it, but they don't.
It's turned out in just the last 5 years or so, we see that they're not good enough tools. They're not powerful enough.
But this pill, he says, is powerful enough. In fact, many times more powerful. With that swallow, I've just become part of a potentially landmark scientific experiment. It's called Protandim, and tests on both mice and humans have already shown that it revs up the manufacture of those good enzymes in our bodies. More enzymes, fewer free radicals to harm us. Whether that will lead to longer life is still unknown.
Right now, all we know is that this preparation decreases oxidative stress. Oxidative stress is not a disease, just like aging is not in itself a disease, but it's something that accompanies and is attached to many disease processes. So you can see the age-related.
Normally, oxidative stress, measured by those T-bars, increases with age. But in Dr. McCord's tests, taking just one pill of Protandim a day reversed that trend for everyone at every age, even for an 80-year-old.
They all are reduced to the level of oxidative stress that one would expect frankly, in a newborn or a very young child.
Back to the oxidative stress levels of a child? It sounds too good to be true. Will Protandim work on me?
The scientific evidence is there. The pieces seem to make sense. The question is, does this translate into something that humans can take advantage of?
So just what's in this seemingly incredible pill? Well, actually, its roots are very humble. Protandim is a combination of 5 plant ingredients. Some you may know: green tea or turmeric, a spice used in Indian cooking. Others, Withania somnifera and Silybum marianum, are more exotic.
There's a huge human experience with each of these ingredients. They've been used often in traditional medicine in India and China and many other cultures, in some cases centuries and centuries.
And so, ancient Eastern healing and modern Western medicine may soon be working together. High oxidative stress is associated with more than aging. It's been linked to hundreds of illnesses.
It's at the very center of many diseases: liver disease, diabetes, emphysema, asthma. I've studied all of these: strokes, heart attacks,
Even mental disease.
yes,
Depression?
Alzheimer's disease, depression.
We make no claims about curing any disease or preventing any disease. We hope that when enough studies are done, perhaps such claims might be able to be made in the future.
But what about my progress? After nearly 2 weeks now, it's time to get my results. Dr. McCord calculates the numbers. The result? My level of oxidative stress has declined dramatically.
45%, that's excellent.
Just look at where I fall on the graph, before and after.
Which, if extrapolated back, is the level you would see in a newborn baby.
Have we turned back the clock? Well, maybe not on the outside, but deep inside within my cells. Yes, indeed.
Would you suggest I keep taking this supplement?
I would.
All right, you guys. So that aired back originally, like I said, in 2005. And the cool part about the company is it was a small biotech company back then, and it still is publicly traded. It was on something called the Pink Sheets. It wasn't on a major board, but it was publicly traded, and that allowed people to kind of get a transparent view of what was going on in the company. And when this was shared with Michelle and I, my background is corporate analysis, financial analysis, and I really wanted to look and see what was going on with this company, because in my mind, if this was such a big deal and what they were talking about was true, why wouldn't everybody have known about it? And so when that aired back in 2005, people got excited. They genuinely wanted this product into their bodies to see exactly what it could do for them. The stock, it went from about $1 a share to about $20 overnight, just on pure speculation of what this could do for people. Now, the problem is that the company was, like I said, a small biotech company, and it was scientists and researchers. It wasn't businessmen that were operating the business. So they didn't have the infrastructure to manufacture, let alone distribute the millions of dollars worth of orders that came in basically overnight. And so as much as that anticipation what was coming out of that ABC primetime video, it quickly dwindled down. And I want you to keep in mind, too, when we talk about ABC primetime and investigative reporting or exposés, they aren't framed to make the company look good, right? We know that negative news sells better than positive news. And that's what really surprised me at the end of this video, was that it did end positive. Everything that the company was claiming was proven based off of the blood work that John Quinones came in and did. And he had better results than what they were anticipating. This is the only nutraceutical, pharmaceutical, supplement, drug, anything out there that has been proven to reduce oxidative stress, and we'll get into what oxidative stress truly is, by an average of 40% in 30 days in everyone. And that is an absolute mind-blowing statement when you understand the damage that oxidative stress can do in our bodies. And I want you to keep in mind again that we're talking about biohacking the genetic code within our bodies to make it work more efficient, to work like it did when we were younger. Because as each one of us ages, things that worked well don't work as well as it used to. And the pill itself, Lifevantage's product, the flagship product Protandim, it's not the miracle. It's really getting the body back in balance. And so as we go through some of this information, I really want you to keep in mind a few different things. That if you could reduce oxidative stress in the body, how important would that be for your overall health? If you could reduce things like inflammation and fibrosis in the body, how beneficial would that be for your health? And then if you could upregulate the survival genes in your body, and you could improve things like mitochondria and the health of your cells overall, how important would that be? And if you could improve your gut health is tied to your overall immune health. How beneficial would that be? So those are the things that we're going to talk about that you can actually help through nutrigenomics and through these products that we're talking about today. So when you start to look at Protandim and the science behind it, the first thing that I want you to understand is that the creator of the product, Protandim, Dr. Joe McCord, he's not just some other scientist, okay? This guy was given the Elliott Cresson Medal because of his discovery back in 1969 of something called superoxide dismutase. And this is such a significant discovery in the body. He's considered the grandfather of free radical biology, of anti-aging. And this medal, it's not given to just anybody. It's been given to people like Alexander Graham Bell. Think about what he's best known for, probably like the telephone, right? Orville Wright, known for the airplane. Henry Ford, for revolutionizing the manufacturing process and the assembly line and creation of things like the automobile. So these people, their innovations, their scientific discoveries and creations, they've really revolutionized the way that we live our lives. And that's the type of company that this scientist, this researcher, Dr. Joe McCord, is in with his discovery back in 1969. So he spent the majority of his career trying to find a synthetic way to upregulate superoxide dismutase in the body. And in early 2000s, he was actually approached by a couple other men, and they said, why are you trying to upregulate this synthetically? Why don't you try to get natural plant-based ingredients that have been used around the world for centuries to get the body to do this? And that's really what led to the creation of Protandim in the form that it is today. So what is oxidative stress? Why is this even important to you? Why should you care? Well, a normal cell that hasn't been attacked by free radicals, that's healthy and normal, works and functions very, very well. And the body itself has a huge pharmacy inside that when it is operating optimally, that we can unlock and we can use to really heal the cells themselves. Now, over the course of time, you're going to get things that are called free radicals. And how do you get free radicals? Well, you get them from just breathing, from exercising, from, let's say you go to the gas station and you're pumping gas into your car and you smell that benzene. Things like that are producing free radicals in the body. I live in South Dakota, and you can't tell me, even though I live in a city of 200,000 people, that when the wind's blowing, I'm not getting exposure of herbicides and pesticides and things like that are being flown around through the air from our farmlands. And the problem with with free radicals is that it eventually goes to what's called oxidative stress. It's damaged and degraded the cell structure. And the best example that we have, if you cut open an apple and you set it out on a counter, what's going to happen to that apple over the course of, let's say, a couple hours? Well, it starts to turn brown, right? The cells start to decay. They start to degrade. They're not in the same normal state that they were before because of the oxidative stress, the exposure to oxygen that causes damage to the cells. Now, over the course of time, oxidative stress leads itself to a lot of varying disease states. And I can't say, what's happening inside of my body is the same as yours, but we know that when left unchecked, oxidative stress is the root cause of hundreds of different diseases. And take a look on the right side of this screen. Heart damage is caused by oxidative stress. Things like hypertension. You look at skin problems like melanoma, psoriasis, kidney problems, chronic kidney disease. joint issues like rheumatoid arthritis, psoriasis, osteoarthritis, lung problems, including asthma, COPD, allergies, cancer. We know people with some of these issues, right? Brain issues like Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, ADHD, autism, migraine, stroke, cancer again, immune system problems, blood vessel problems, other organ problems, eye problems like macular degeneration, cataracts, retinal degeneration. So if you understand that at the root cause of pretty much every single disease state is oxidative stress, if you found a way to downregulate or get rid of oxidative stress in the body, even if you could contain it somewhat, it would improve the overall health of your body. And we're not doing it with a drug, you guys. We're talking about naturally occurring plant-based ingredients that are helping the body fight this. Now, normally when we think of solutions for oxidative stress, we've been built this kind of message that direct antioxidants are the way to fight oxidative stress, and they work on a 1-to-1 ratio. So one molecule of a direct antioxidant can neutralize one free radical in the body, and we get those from things like fruits and vegetables. Your superfoods are really heavy antioxidants, and this has been used as a key marketing word for a long time. You'll see it on things like even Cherry 7-Up. We joke about the fact that we saw it on a box of mascara once. I don't know how that's healthy for you, but they're using that as a key word. Now, the problem with antioxidants, even though these are good things, for the most part to get into your body, the problem is that 1-to-1 ratio. At even any given point in time, there's millions of free radicals floating around in your body doing damage to the cells. And if you're only neutralizing them on a 1-to-1 ratio, can you imagine how many direct antioxidants that you would have to consume to even put out a portion of the damage that's going on in your body? And when we first started with the company, Dr. McCord was still heavily engaged and involved. And he gave us this analogy of, if you think of a house, and the house is on fire, okay? There's a blaze going on in every single room of the house. Taking direct antioxidants to get rid of the free radicals is like taking a Dixie cup of water and throwing it on that fire. What's going to happen to that fire? Absolutely nothing. If you're close enough, you might hear it hiss as the water is thrown onto that small portion of the fire, but it's not going to do anything to that raging fire. Now, NRF2 activation, on the other hand, is getting your body's own enzymes to fight these free radicals. And things like superoxide dismutase that Dr. McCord discovered can actually fight free radicals on a 1,000,000-to-1 ratio. So one enzyme of something like superoxide dismutase per second can fight 1 million free radicals per second, every second, and not get used up. So it continues to fight these over and over and over again and get the overall free radicals down in the body, which is going to reduce the oxidative stress. And we have studies that prove that this will reduce, on average, the oxidative stress in a person's body by 40% in 30 days. And again, there's nothing else on the planet that has been proven to date to be that powerful at reducing oxidative stress in the body. So NRF2, this pathway in the body, again, that's the miracle here. It's not the pill. It's getting the body working optimally like it did when we were younger. Back in 2015, Washington State University, they looked at all the research that had been completed on NRF2, and they did a review article on all of that research. And here's a blurb from that review article. It says, "We may be on the verge of new literature on health effects of NRF2, which may well become the most extraordinary therapeutic and most extraordinary preventive breakthrough in the history of medicine." You guys, even if that's half true, can you imagine having this information and the impact that this can have on your overall health? Being able to get this NRF2 pathway opened in the body so that you can neutralize things upstream and not live in this reactive medicine-based environment that we currently call healthcare, right? This is about preventative medicine and keeping your body healthy and working properly. Now, our product Protandim, it's not a drug, and so I can't say that it treats or prevents or cures or mitigates any sort of disease process. But the fact of the matter is that when you start researching the disease states that are attached to oxidative stress, you're going to find that they all at the root cause are attached to oxidative stress. So in my mind, you can make a logical conclusion that if reducing oxidative stress in the body can be very powerful for your overall health, and this is the most powerful activator of that pathway, it can have very, very specific benefits in the body attached to a lot of different things that are going on. Now, when the research started being done, that ABC video that aired, there were a lot of research institutions that were reaching out to Dr. Joe McCord and Lifevantage and saying, we want to study this product. We want to know, because we understand the power of reducing oxidative stress in the body. We want to study it for very specific things. Like Louisiana State in the upper left-hand corner, they started studying it for skin cancer, for basic melanoma. University of Colorado was doing research. Harvard and Texas Tech, Ohio State, some of the major universities in the United States, they were funding their own science to look into Protandim and the power that it would have inside of the body. Now, in my mind, I was thinking to myself, well, if this is such a powerful pathway, why aren't pharmaceutical companies trying to produce synthetic versions of this? And the fact of the matter is that they were, and they still are today. That top company, Biohacking, when we were looking back 6.5 years ago at what was going on with the company, we found that they had a product in the pipeline that was going through the FDA approval process called BG12. BG12 has since gone on to get FDA approval, and it's an oral therapy for MS. The first 9 months in the marketplace, their drug, now the street name is Tecfidera, went on to make over $1 billion the first 9 months it was in the marketplace. Now it does about $1 billion a quarter, you guys. GlaxoSmithKline, they're researching Nerve2 activators. Abbott, Reata, they actually had one that was in the approval process that started to be linked to mortality, right? Drugs, as good as they might be for particular things, they also can generate a whole host of negative side effects, right? If we're coming up on the football season here, if you're watching a football game and a commercial comes on and it's a drug commercial, what's the last half of that commercial spent doing? Right? It starts talking about all of the listed side effects, and if you pay attention to what they're talking about, most of the time it's not funny. Like we're talking about, internal bleeding and blindness and up to and including death. Things like that are being stated in these commercials. So even though a drug like Tecfidera is a very good oral therapy for MS, it's still a drug. It still has side effects, right? Their own funded research, when they compared it head-to-head against Protandim, against Lifevantage's product, found that as far as activating an NRF2 pathway in the body, their drug, which cost people over $50,000 a year to take, was half as potent at activating this pathway in the body. Conclusion of a study that was actually presented in Amsterdam around 2011, the conclusion of their study basically said, because Protandim the highest inducer of this NRF2 pathway, it's probably the best suited therapy for MS. Now, you can't tell me that Biohacking has their drug reps going into doctors' offices and telling them about this study and that it's half as powerful as a nutraceutical, an all-natural product. On the right side, you can see some more universities that are currently looking at creating their own Nerve2 activators. So this is just the beginning. This is just the tip of the iceberg. And you don't have to take just our word for it. Like I said, there's outside institutions that have been pumping millions of dollars into research. That Reata Pharmaceuticals at the bottom in the middle there, they actually spent $500 million on the licensing rights to a product that never made it to the marketplace. $500 million for a product that never got FDA approval. It's crazy. Now, where do you go to see the research? Because this is a company that's backed by science, and more science has come out. When we first got started, we looked at this site, pubmed.gov. It's the National Institute of Health site, the U.S. National Library of Medicine, and it's a repository of research. It's where the doctors and the scientists go because this is peer-reviewed science. And when you understand what peer-reviewed science is, it's pretty impressive that a branded supplement is in here, and it's not on just one or two of the ingredients within the product. It's actually the entire product. has been studied and peer reviewed. And there's 23 current studies that you'll find on PubMed.gov if you research Protandim. The other thing that I'd go and look at PubMed.gov is typing in oxidative stress, and you'll find well over 100,000 different studies that talk about oxidative stress. And if you want to take it a step further and you have an interest in finding out about, like, let's say oxidative stress in diabetes or oxidative stress in heart disease or cancer, just type in that search field at PubMed.gov and find out what's actually linked to oxidative stress. And again, Protandim is the only product in the world that's been shown to reduce oxidative stress an average of 40% in 30 days. So this is very powerful. Again, it's not our company that's saying and making all of these claims. You can go out onto our tax dollars at work and find this information that's out there. Now, the benefits of Protandim, let's just give you a 10,000-foot review of this. It combats cellular stress through the NRF2 activation. It's the only supplement proven in clinical studies to reduce oxidative stress in humans by an average of 40% in 30 days. You saw John Quinones, his was actually reduced 45% in 2 weeks. Okay, and NRF2 is going to help regulate your body's survival genes. So what that means is we know, like I said earlier, that there's through the Human Genome Mapping Project, the 25,000 genes in the body, we know what position every single one of those genes should be in. But as we age, and even when we're born, stuff that should be on is off, and stuff that should be off gets turned on. And so that was the easiest explanation that I heard Dr. McCord ever explain on how NRF2 works, is it basically goes in and it puts those light switches back in the right position and affects over 600 different survival genes in the body. So that's why it's going to help with so many different things that people have in their body. And when's the best time to help somebody's body? Is it when it's already in massive amounts of oxidative stress? Or is it when the body is already working optimally that you want to keep it working optimally? So that's Protandim, that's NRF2. Now there's another thing that I was talking about at the very beginning, if you remembered. I was saying, imagine if you could increase the mitochondria in the cell. Now, I'm not a scientist, I'm not a doctor, but I remember from my science classes going through high school and into college that mitochondria are the powerhouse of the cells. And so if the powerhouse of your cells, which derive 95% of the energy, if the mitochondria is not healthy, do you imagine you have more or less energy? Right? You would have less energy. If they're not healthy and they're not plentiful, your cells aren't going to have the energy necessary to continue to perform at a high functioning rate. And so there's another product that came out with Lifevantage not too long ago that activates a different pathway in the body that's called NRF1. Now, NRF1, when you activate that, it actually increases the health of the mitochondria in the cell, so that powerhouse, and it actually increases the amount of mitochondria that's found in the body as well. So again, if you increase the energy or the mitochondria in the cell, do you think you have more or less energy going on as cellular energy? You're going to have more, obviously. Well, what happens over the course of time if your mitochondria are not functioning properly? What happens when you have mitochondrial dysfunction? Well, take a look on the right again, and you're going to start to see things that we know friends and family deal with on a regular basis. Mitochondrial dysfunction is not something any of us want to go through. So if we can naturally improve through our own bodies, our mitochondria, the amount and the quality of them, it's just going to create more balance within the body, help it function better, and get it back in balance so it can naturally do what it's designed to do. So it's going to increase that cellular energy, increase performance through energy production when you activate this NRF1 pathway, enhance cellular health. Cells are going to function at their peak performance. This can actually improve sleep quality and promote cellular repair, boost mitochondria production, their ability to network, slowing cellular aging by supporting chromosome integrity. This is a big deal. We have the only NRF1 product in the marketplace right now. And I'm telling you, this is going to be exactly where NRF2 is today in 5 or 6 years down the road, where there's going to be a whole host of other companies especially drug companies that are going to try to develop synthetic versions of what we already have our hands on today. Now, the third product that I really want to highlight for you, I think that this sets the base, the foundation, these three products together of your overall health, and it's a probiotic. I didn't know a ton about probiotics a couple years ago. I had heard about them, but I couldn't tell you why they were important. What I found out was that 80% of your immune health is directly tied to your gut. If your gut is not healthy and functioning properly, you will not have good immune system function. That's just a fact. Now, with probiotics, the problem with most of them is they're not shelf stable. So those bugs, the bacteria in there that are supposed to multiply once they get inside the body, they're not even alive by the time that you get it into your body. Now, the other problem with probiotics is that unless they have a good delivery source, the ones that still are alive, that did remain shelf stable, when you enter it into the body and it gets into the stomach acid, the majority of them are killed. And most probiotics, over 95% of the bacteria that's supposed to get into your intestine to flourish aren't alive by the time they get into the intestine. So if you're taking a product where 95% of it has already been destroyed either by sitting on a shelf or getting killed by the stomach acid in your body, is it doing much good? Is it really truly helping with your immune system function, getting your gut healthy? Well, our product has something that's called BioTrack Delivery. It's a patented technology that keeps it shelf stable, and it allows it to make it through the stomach acid, get into the intestine where it needs to flourish. And so if you can have it shelf stable and make it through the stomach acid, that's the ideal situation. And we know that over 65% of the bacteria that's contained in that BioTrack delivery system is going to make it into where it needs to be in the body for you to have that improved gut health, to improve your overall immune system function. These are big deals, you guys. These are the basis of us living a healthy lifestyle and integrating some products that are all natural, no known side effects, no known drug interactions into your body to really get your health back on track. Now, the cool thing about this is the company recently, a few months ago, they bundle all three of these together, and you can get the entire order for $120. It ships for free. And when you think about what I just talked about and how it can improve your overall health for $120, I mean, people don't even blink and think twice about spending $120 on a cell phone bill or their cable bill. And you can spend $120 and get these three products into your body and get your body working more optimally. To me, this is an absolute no-brainer. It's something that people are going to integrate into their health strategy. Now, the company didn't stop there. With that Louisiana State study that I was talking about, where they started studying NRF2 and the effects on skin cancer, that's when the product on the left that has the number 4 on it, that anti-aging cream, was created. Because when they started looking at this helping things like skin cancer, basic melanoma, they said, well, why aren't you creating a topical formula, right? We've got Protandim to work from the inside out. Why don't you create a topical that has NRF2 activation in it and work from the outside in? And that's when that number 4, the anti-aging cream, was created. Then they brought in, a couple of years ago, one of the best biochemists in the world. And she came in as a consultant to enhance this skincare regimen and to create a full system that people could use that's based off of this NRF2 technology. Now, Dr. Natalie Chevreau, she's the creator behind this product. She's not just another inventor in the skincare industry. She's arguably the best in the world. She created a product around 2005 called Strivectin, and Strivectin went on to become the #1 best-selling SKU in the skincare industry and still is today. And we got her on board to create an entire NRF2 system. And look at this lady on the right, day 1 to 61. This is going to get results, and people will find significant results when they start getting this onto their skin. And the cool thing about the system is it's not using tricks. It's not using skincare industry tricks to reduce fine lines and wrinkles and get the appearance of better looking skin. A lot of skincare industry products, they actually work by creating an inflammation of the skin. If you irritate the skin, cause it to inflame, what's going to happen to fine lines and wrinkles, right? The skin's going to get expanded, it's going to get irritated, it's going to puff out, and that's the illusion of reducing fine lines and wrinkles. It's not because it's doing something great, it's actually irritating the skin. Another trick in the industry is to create the cells to contain more water, to hold more water. And if you think about a balloon, if you put a bunch of water into a balloon, right, it's going to expand. It's going to have that same effect that you had with irritation. It's going to fill up and plump those fine lines and wrinkles. But this system is getting to the overall health of the cells. It's getting the structure of the cell back like it used to be when we were younger. So it's not using those tricks. It's actually improving the overall quality of your skin, and over the course of time, the correction of the health of the actual cells is what's going to transform your skin. It's what's going to actually make it more youthful again. So this is an amazing product line. This as well, they bundled together this skin regimen where you can get it and get free shipping on your products as well. This is something that's very new to the company. I love the fact that we're embracing this bio revolution, that, you know, when we buy things, we would like for it to be shipped to us direct and get it where we aren't paying any extra costs outside of taxes. So you can get this entire system, NRF2 technology, from the outside in addition to those other products. Now, Axio, this product was created for brain food, right? They consider it in the energy category, but it's not like when you think of energy drinks, those Monsters and Red Bulls that are filled with chemicals. You guys, this is an all-natural approach to get vigor back into people's life. It unlocks your brain's potential. And when you understand the ingredients that they chose to use in here, you understand why it gives people the feeling that it does, that mental clarity, that kind of lifting of the brain fog that people walk through life with. Those of you that are familiar with the corporate setting like I was, I'm sure that you know Monday through Friday, kind of that zombie mode that people live their lives because they have this brain fog, they have reduced energy, and they're looking for ways to get that, whether it's reaching for a cup of coffee or an energy drink or, a soda, things like that. Well, if we can replace that with something that's actually good for the body, that's going to help promote healthier, sustained energy without that overstimulation, it's going to improve your state of alertness and not create the jitters. It's going to improve learning performance, focus, and mental clarity. And again, there's science backing what this is doing. Things like quercetin, L-theanine, green tea extract, New Zealand pine bark. These are ingredients that, again, they've been used for a long time, and we know that they have positive benefits when they're put into the body. Now, the physique system, I talked about that probiotic, and I think that that's a no-brainer that people are going to take that probiotic. But there's also an enhanced line too, a weight management system that people can use to cleanse their body, a fat burner that isn't going to be, just increasing the metabolism of a person's body, almost like speed. This works in a controlled environment and in controlled way to actually burn that belly fat, the fat that's not good for us, that can actually surround our organs in the body, a protein shake. So there's a 4-system set that's a weight management system. And notice I'm not using the word weight loss. Now, people, they can lose weight on this product. We've got some amazing before and after pictures that speak volumes on a 90-day challenge that we started at the beginning of the year. But this is a weight management system. It's changing the way people live their lives. It's not this quick fix that's just going to be done and then people yo-yo back and forth when they get back into their routine. We really want to encourage people through the process that we have to change their lifestyle, to change the way that they operate. But check out these before and after pictures. It's absolutely incredible what people are doing in 90 days with this system. The probiotic, I want to show you this first, because the upper left-hand corner, it's going to show you a study that was done when they were giving this probiotic to a certain group of rats. And you can see the control group on the left, in the upper left, compared to that second picture where they had the probiotic and that ability to reduce just the body fat. And then not not just the control group, but then they fed some of the mice fast food, and then again comparing the fast food rat to what's going on with when you increase even still eating fast food, but with that probiotic, the difference in the fat accumulation there kind of shows you and proves why this is doing what it's doing inside of people's bodies. So there's unbelievable science on this. Again, don't believe me, I'm the finance guy. My background is financial analysis. There's the science that you can go see at pubmed.gov, or you can ask the person that invited you on here to take a look at some of that additional information if you have more questions on it. But it's absolutely unbelievable. Now, Pet Tandem. This product kind of came out of places like Sioux Falls, South Dakota, where back when we first started, a lot of people, they weren't willing to spend the money on themselves, but they were willing to spend the money on their pet, right? Their dogs are treated better than some of their family members. And here in South Dakota, we have a lot of hunting dogs, a lot of bird dogs, and most of the time they're Labrador retrievers. And labs, everyone that I've ever seen, as they age, they start to get problems like hip dysplasia, joint function, and mobility problems. So as they age, we start to see that set in. And we had person after person after person coming back to us telling us that they had been giving their dog Protandim, and that their dog, after a while on the product, was running around like a pup again. You know, a dog that hadn't been in a pickup truck and able to jump up on its own for years, all of a sudden is in and out of that pickup truck, no problem now, running around like a pup. And so I think that anecdotal evidence, those stories got back to the company, and the company said, well, why don't we produce something that actually is more palatable and makes more sense, that's specifically designed for pets? And so that's where this product, Pet Tandem, came out of. It's basically the NRF2 technology with a few other additives in there to increase joint function, mobility, and the flexibility in our pets. So that's another product that's out there that's absolutely unbelievable. Remember back when I was talking about the company story, it used to be sold in stores like GNC and CVS and Rite Aid, and it got pulled from the shelves, right? They found that sales channel, nobody knew what really oxidative stress was and why it was bad in the body. And the bottle, it said clinically proven to reduce oxidative stress. And it actually just sat on the stores of like GNC, CVS, and Rite Aid for years. It sold less than one bottle per store per month in the retail channels. Nobody knew what it was, and they weren't walking into these types of stores asking for something to reduce oxidative stress. So kind of as a last-ditch effort, they decided to put this in person-to-person distribution. Now, the board of directors, Dr. Joe McCord, they were very against going into this type of sales channel, but they didn't really have a lot of other options. They had tried online marketing, it didn't work. The early on business structure was not great. Again, they weren't businessmen. To highlight that, I'll tell you one quick story. After that ABC primetime video aired, Dr. Joe McCord was actually called by Oprah Winfrey's people. He didn't call her back because he didn't know who Oprah Winfrey was. Can you imagine if 10 years ago, she would have opened her mouth about Protandim and the ability to help people and what it could do inside the body? They would have never had to spend another dollar on marketing ever again. But the fact of the matter is, he didn't make that phone call. And in 2009, when they compared network marketing, person-to-person distribution to the retail channel, it outsold the retail channel by 300% in 6 months. And so they completely pulled it off the shelves. And so, I want to take a few minutes just to talk to you about the business side of this. I know the business side isn't for everybody. I'm very cognizant of that. 85% of my business is customer-based. And I love that for the simple fact, if you don't see the business like I see it, you don't have to. I think it's an absolute no-brainer when you understand oxidative stress, the ability now that we have to biohack the system to upregulate and downregulate certain genes with plant-based ingredients. It's a no-brainer. You're going to integrate these products into your health strategy. It's just a matter of how you get them. Do you get them as a customer, or do you get them as a distributor in the company? Now, I didn't, when we first got involved, I had no interest in doing the business. I didn't believe that people could make money doing this. But what I did know is that when you can find out about something before the average person, it sets you up for huge potential financial benefit, regardless what it is. And every single business, regardless what industry, product, or service it is, if it survives long enough, it goes through this S curve that you see on this on the screen right now. Where in the very beginning, it's just the innovators, the early adopters that take on a new technology, new products, things like that. But as it gains momentum and the majority of people, the average person, starts to know about it and integrate it into their lives, that's when this momentum is created. 80% of the growth ever that's going to happen with that company happens during this momentum phase, and then it starts to reach stability, right? The company becomes more mature. There's still a few people that don't know about it, but the average person already knows about it. And when I look at, business and opportunity, you can easily see when is the most effective time to know about something. Is it when it's already in that late majority and it's gone up that S curve, or is it prior to that? Right? Obviously, it's prior to that. And if you can know about something before the average person, it can set you up for huge success. And that's where I got very intrigued with this. Because, think of it like the Apple iPhone, right? With the Apple iPhone, the first version, there's not very many people that I know that had the original iPhone, right? Even the iPhone 2, there wasn't a ton of people that had that. That was the innovators, the early adopters, the people that wanted the technology and were on the cutting edge of the change in the cell phone industry. Now, the iPhone 3, it started to become adopted by more mainstream people. But when the iPhone 4 hit, that's when everybody started getting their hands on the iPhones. Now we're on the 7th version. It's in that maturity. There isn't a lot of people that you could ask if they know what an iPhone is that are going to look at you like, I have no idea what you're talking about. But 10 years ago, you guys, that wasn't the case. 10 years ago, people did not understand the smartphone technology and how the iPhone would change our life. And I think that that's exactly where we're at with NRF2 and this nutrigenomic revolution that's starting to happen, where we can upregulate and downregulate genes in the body by these pathways in the body. We are at the forefront of nutrigenomics and really uncovering what this can lead to down the road. Now, like I said, I didn't honestly believe that doing this type of business model, people could make money. I came out of the corporate environment. I was raised that, you go to school. If you want a better job, you go to college. If you want an even better job, you get a graduate degree. You continue to go, and then you go into the corporate workplace and you become an employee, and you wait your turn, you work your way up that corporate ladder. Now, the thing that I found with the corporate ladder was, interestingly, the higher you climbed up the ladder, the more time they expected out of you, right? And so you're trading time for money, and the higher you get up, the more you're paid, the more time that they expect from you. And when I started looking at network marketing, what I came to realize was I was trading time for money, right? I showed up every 2 weeks, they would send me a check. I continued to show up. 2 weeks later, they would give me a check. Michelle, she was always commission-based. So the harder she worked, the better she was at her job, the more she got paid. But the reality was, every single month it started over, and it always reset back to zero. And even if you don't do this type of business, you don't join us in Lifevantage, I challenge you sometime in the next 6 months, in the rest of 2017, find a way to get residual income in your life, because it will change things dramatically. Residual income pays you over and over and over again for work that you did once. And that was the cool thing that we started to find when we started sharing these products with other people. We share it with our friends and our family, and because we cared about their health and we wanted them to know about this information we had just found out about. The more people we shared this with, the more people that wanted to see what it would do in their bodies. The more people that got it into their bodies, the more anecdotal evidence that we got back that it was doing what it said it was designed to do. And what do people keep doing when they have a positive benefit from taking something? Right? They continue to take it. And so month after month after month, we were getting paid for work that we had done previously. And that kind of blew my mind, that I was in my mid-30s and I would consider myself fairly well educated, and I had never understood the power of residual income prior to this. Now, the screen that I have up right now, I put this up because it shows what actual people in the company are making. And again, I know the business side isn't for everybody, but I at least want you to have enough information that you can decide if this is information that might be worthwhile for you to share with some people. Okay, the ranks in the company, they go from Pro 1 to Pro 10, and you can see that on the left side of the screen. Now, the third column is what I really want to highlight. It's the monthly average that actual distributors in the company are making. And I break it down into a couple different categories. Pro 1 to Pro 3, I consider that part-time income, right? $100, $250, $500 a month. Now, in the corporate environment, my last 3 years, I managed the defaulted student loan portfolio for Citigroup. And what I knew was the average bankruptcy in the United States could be avoided with an extra couple $100 a month. And that absolutely is a crazy statistic, that if you show people a way to get an extra couple hundred a month, that 80% of all bankruptcies in the United States would be avoided. And I also knew that about 80% of all divorces wouldn't have happened if you could add an extra couple $100 a month to people's their household income. And that's just a scary, scary statistic, but it's real. And in society, right, we're pretty open books about our overall health and what's going on with our health, with our friends and our family, right? They know what's going on. Now, financial issues, that's something we deal with behind closed doors. And I can promise you this, that if it isn't you that falls into that category of an extra couple $100 a month changing everything, there is friends and family that you have that are affected by this, and they're dealing with real struggles that they'll go to bed tonight wondering how they're going to make that next mortgage payment or the car payment, or have enough money for groceries at the end of this month coming up. And they're praying for something to change in their life. Now, when you look at the Pro 4, Pro 5 area, that to me is more like supplemental income. We have this whole generation of people called the baby boomers, and they're coming up to retirement age, right? We have like 10,000 of them a day that are getting to retirement age. And what they're finding is it isn't like they thought it was going to be 30 or 40 years ago when they were entering the workforce, right? It used to be that if you worked for a company for 30 years, they would take care of you in your retirement years through a pension or some kind of program that they were funding where you didn't have to worry about it. Well, the reality is most of those pensions are not there. Employees aren't sticking around for 30 years with the same employer, and there isn't the ability for employers to offer that luxury in the retirement years where they're funding the retirement of people. And the reality is that the baby boomers haven't saved, for the most part, enough money to live the same lifestyle that they're accustomed to during their working years. So what are their options? Their options are either to continue to work to find more money coming in, or to live off of less money in retirement. Most people don't want to live off of less money, so they're continuing to work. So if I could roadmap out an easy way for people to make $1,000 or $2,000 a month, that's a proven system, do you not think that there would be people that are interested in that? And then if you take the levels, like let's say include Pro 5, Pro 6, Pro 7, $2,000, $5,000, $10,000 a month, that's going to replace pretty much the full-time income in almost all American households, somewhere in that $2,000 to $10,000 range. So that's the full-time money. People can walk away what they're doing full-time on those levels. Pro 8, Pro 9, Pro 10, $20,000, $35,000, $80,000 plus a month. That's what people are actually making in this company at those ranks. And we know people at every single one of those levels. Michelle and I, we put our heads down and we realized that this was a proven system, that if we replicated what other people had already shown to be successful, if we did what they did, we could have what they had. We put our heads down and we got to work. I retired from the corporate world 9 months after we started doing this business. We had reached the rank of Pro 7 within the first year. The second year in the company, we hit that Pro 8 level. And then 3 years in, we had 2 different business positions that were at that Pro 8 level. So I'm telling you, and I'm not saying that to brag about anything that I've done. I'm telling you that because if I did it, if we could do it, anybody can do it, because we didn't have any knowledge of nutraceuticals. We didn't know the first thing about them. We didn't know the first thing about network marketing, but we knew that if we followed a system that other people had already shown to work, we could have the same results that they had. And this takes work like anything else, you guys. I'm not going to sit here and say that you're going to have overnight success and this just magically builds itself because of the quality of products. Now, that helps to have what we have our hands on, but it still takes work like anything else. But the cool thing thing about it is again, you're creating an asset. You're creating residual income in your life. And if you push that boulder up the hill far enough, it starts going down the other side without you. Michelle and I couldn't sabotage our business right now to get it to stop because we have too many leaders underneath us that will not stop. They're going to continue to go whether we're going or not. And with residual income, if God forbid something happened to one of my girls tomorrow, I don't have to continue to work. We're working because we choose to, and we want to get as many people through that window of opportunity before it closes. We want more people to come home from the corporate world. We want more people to have money at the end of the month where they're not worrying about where their next mortgage payment's going to come from. We want to change the world health-wise as well. We want these products into as many people as we can, share. But all we're doing is sharing information with you guys. It isn't going to be for everybody, and I realize that. So just take the information, realize where it fits in. I again think it's a no-brainer. You're going to integrate at least that essentials pack into your health strategy. You love yourself enough to get these products into your body. It's just a matter of how you're doing that and where you want to fit in on this S-curve. If you see that value of the business side and joining forces in a proven system that's been shown to work, if you're sitting back and you're kind of Rolodexing people in your head that could benefit from these products, or there's people that you definitely want to get this information in front of, the business side probably is for you. Or, you're in a position that you don't know how you can get things to change in your life and you're looking for a plan B that can eventually replace what you're currently doing. The business side might be for you. You might be just that entrepreneur-minded person that wants to work for yourself. You don't want to have to continue to work for other people and build other people's dreams. So those are the types of people that are going to be attracted early on before the average person starts to know about this technology and these products. So getting started, how do you get started? If you want to just take these products as customers, you're going to pay the exact same price on a monthly basis that distributors do. So again, we're not trying to talk anybody into doing the business that doesn't see value in the business side. There's 3 different levels to get involved with. There's the platinum pack, the gold pack, the silver pack. And in addition to that, there's a starter kit that you have to purchase that's $50. So the true price for the platinum pack's $12.50, the gold pack $6.50, the silver pack $3.50. And I want to highlight that platinum pack because honestly, if I signed up again tomorrow, that's the exact route that I would go because it comes with so much product. And my thought is, even if you don't get off the starting line, you have your money back in product that you should already be taking. So even if you never shared this with anybody, you have your money back in product that you're just prepaying for. But it does come with, almost $1,800 worth of value in the kit. You're paying $12.50 for it. You save 30% on money that you're already going to be using to integrate new things into your health strategy. But it also comes with the ability for you to have massive potential on the business side if you share it with other people. The business side, you guys, again, I know it isn't for everybody, but you're going to fall into one of 3 categories, right? This information isn't going to be intriguing to you. You're not going to find value in it. What I would ask is if that's where you fall, let the person know that invited you on here that you just don't have an interest level right now in what we're talking about. But what I would also ask you is that you stay open-minded, that maybe if new products come out or new science is released, that we could just get that in front of you. Or if down the road something changes and you become interested in these products, is get back with the person that invited you on here and just let them know that. If you have questions, let us know what those questions are. There's true science out there that we can direct you to. For example, like the American Heart Association, they did a study that was published in their journal, Circulation. And I'll argue all day long the American Heart Association is going to be much more reliable as a resource than a blogger on the internet. So we can direct you where to get the actual information to answer your questions. So let us know what those questions are so you can know if this is for you or not. And then third, you're ready to get started either as a customer or as a distributor. Let us know that too. We can get you the actual prices, get it into the system, get you going right away. Again, I think at a minimum, integrate that baseline strategy of the essentials pack where you're getting NRF1, NRF2, and the probiotic in your system. Give it 6 months to see what it's going to do for you. Don't say I'm going to try this for 30 days and then you know, it is or it isn't working with you. The science shows it works in everybody's bodies, but give your body time to clear out some of that junk that's been stored up over the years. We don't get disease overnight, so we shouldn't necessarily expect huge drastic results in a short period of time. So give your body enough time to get back in balance to work optimally. If you're excited about doing the business, you guys, realize you don't have to know this information like I do. The best thing that you get when you join us together on this business, if you come in and you want to do that platinum pack and get started right away, is you inherit a whole host of other people who have your success in mind. Okay, unlike the corporate world where I was always paid more money to separate myself because I was going to get the next raise or the next promotion, I had no financial interest in that environment to share with anybody else why I was successful. In this type of business model, my success is directly tied to helping other people be successful, okay? And that looks different for other people, for everybody, right? You might just want some of that part-time money, or some of you that supplemental. But I know that there's some of you out there that are looking for some of that full-time income, and no, you don't do this business alone. We have a whole host of people that are going to be here to help you from day one. Your responsibility would be to just get the information in front of people, let us answer the questions, explain what's going on, and over the course of time, you're going to realize how to deliver the information as well. But you'll also have a whole host of tools where you can just press play on a recording like this, show people that ABC primetime video, get one of us on the phone to answer your friends and your family's questions, people that you care about. So really, I want you to know, 6 years ago when I came into this, I couldn't have told you the first thing about glutathione or NRF2 or superoxide dismutase. I was a financial guy. I've learned this information over the course of several years and just being excited and passionate about what we had our hands on. But I don't want you to get overwhelmed by thinking I couldn't do what Shawn's doing. I can't do the business, because that's the furthest thing from the truth. We'll teach you step by step how to get this information in front of people, how to have success and do what you need to do to get where you want to get. So with that, again, appreciate your guys' time. I know there's a lot of different things you could have been doing this evening. You decided to take an hour out of your time to hear this guy from South Dakota explain some new information that you may or may not have heard before. But I really respect the time that you took out. Please let us know if there's anything that we can do to help you on your journey of understanding this better, or where this fits into your life. And if you're ready to get started right away, let us know that too, because I'm telling you, we're just getting started. We've got amazing things that are shaping up. We have people that are taking off that have just recently joined this business, and we're excited to lock arms with those that really want to lock arms and change the world, people's health, their finances, and just being better people. That's one of the things that, I think that Michelle and I, we really value in this, is the personal development, the helping of other people, and leaving the world a better place. So with that, I'm going to wrap it up, get back with the person that invited you, let us know how we can help you, and we will talk to you all real soon. Have a great night.